Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 738, and I struggled to record it for quite a while. I think it was probably at least 3 or 4 attempts, and I ditched them all. And I'm currently in the sauna. It's 50 degrees already, so I need to be fast to avoid overheating the phone. So quick update about the Tuesday. On Tuesday we did the regular stuff. We dropped Julian at school, then went to Rosnaula to get our scones and coffee, and I think we had a chat about how we should kind of maybe not stop it but slow down with that to do a bit of sweets at home and homemade stuff for ourselves, and drink coffee at home every second day or so, because we are spending a lot of money while we are supporting local business, which is great. We still want to do that, but at the same time it feels like one of those unnecessary things that people do, and I want to blame. When I was driving to work back in the days, to the office in Dublin City, I had coffee every day, scone every day, and it becomes a habit, and not necessarily a good habit or a healthy habit for both finances and our own bodies. I will exit the sauna to make sure that it doesn't overheat. So afterwards we drove to the beach. We had our time to eat and drink coffee, eat the scones and drink coffee. And afterwards we drove to Rosnaula Lower, which is another part of Rosnaula. It's not the part of the main beach, so most of the people that drive here and they don't even know about the existence of the other part, but we do, locals do. It's mainly privately, well, not owned, but the land surrounding it is privately owned, so there's no public car park or anything like that. That's why probably it's not very popular, but it's quiet and nice, and you can really walk from that beach up to Morva Beach, which is quite a long way. So if it's a low tide, you can do a very decent walk across the sand and a couple of more stony areas. But anyway, we went there, we parked the car, I grabbed the backpack because this time I took all the gear with the drone, so the controller, spare batteries, drone itself. So I prepped everything and we walked towards the dunes, where there's like a little stairs and wooden stairs, and you cross the dunes and you go to the beach. And I allowed Elizabeth to go and told her that I will stay behind the dunes and try the drone. And it was a bit windy, so I wanted to be hidden behind the dunes before I take off. And then I flew over the dunes and saw the beautiful ocean, and then flew smoothly over Elizabeth. And when I turned back with the drone, I realized that I didn't turn recording on. So that was a big setback for me, because the footage would be brilliant. So I attempted second time. It was nice, but not as good as the first one. I recorded the second approach, and then I tried to do a bit more dynamic stuff and used a more kind of cinematic approach. Tried to do the take where I just get with the drone close to the stairs, then kind of lift it up and go over dune, and then show the beautiful ocean. And I hit the banister and the drone fell. Nothing happened, there's no damage, but obviously it stopped recording and I needed to take off again. So I decided to hide it in the backpack and just catch up with Elizabeth, and she was quite far away already, so I needed to jog a bit. And when I reached her, we had a nice walk. We reached a certain point where I wanted to take some nice shot of ourselves, but I was low on battery, and drone didn't want to take off, and I was like, I can change one of the 2 extra batteries that I have. And then I realized that I left, of all the gear, I left the batteries in the car when I was kind of rearranging stuff in the backpack. So we couldn't do anything about it, but I had power bank, so I connected the drone, and I thought that before we come back to the dunes and walk across the dunes, we might still get a shot if the battery is recharged. So we did our walk, and later on I checked the drone. It had enough juice to do the footage, and then it happened. We walked atop of the dune, so atop of the stairs, and I wanted to use one of those quick kind of headless operations, so they're like a quick footage options, and I wanted to do helix, where the drone is kind of circulating around and raising up, and I wanted to take the ocean and everything that surrounds us. And the worst part happened when I turned the drone on my palm. The wind was so hard, I pushed it towards us. It flew over Elizabeth's head, and it, the wind kind of, and the stream of air took a couple of strands of hair and pulled the drone, and it entangled itself in Elizabeth's hair. And you can imagine the speed of those rotors or propellers and the amount of tangling and knots that it caused. So she couldn't take it off at all. We had to walk to the car with the drone in the hair, drove all the way to the house, and I spent almost an hour dismounting propeller guards, 2 propellers, and only then I could take on untangling task. So the unscrewing stuff and taking off took a couple of minutes, but untangling it and detaching from her hair was just unbelievable. I thought that she will lose a lot of hair, but we managed to pretty much do it without loss. Just a couple of things, small cuts of the very, very knotted parts, and we were done. So that was a success. You can see pictures in the blog. And afterwards it was just a regular picking Julian from school, and then we went on for evening deploy, which was beautiful, great sunset. A lot of people joined on Tuesday, which we were surprised about. So decent revenue for the day and nice finish, but very nervous and very stressful with that entangling, which was, you can't see it properly on the pictures, but even on the pictures it looks bad. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate your time. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Stay tuned. See you again tomorrow.